Before we get into the video, be sure to like and subscribe if you want more content like this. Walter White's story begins in the quiet suburbs of Albuquerque, New Mexico. By all appearances, he is an unremarkable man, a 50-year-old high school chemistry teacher, a husband, and a father-to-be again. He drives an old Pontiac Aztek, lives paycheck to paycheck, and works a second job at a car wash to make ends meet. But beneath that mild exterior lies a man who once had real brilliance and ambition. Years earlier, Walter was part of a promising chemistry startup called Gray Matter Technologies, which he co-founded with Elliot Schwartz and Gretchen, a woman he once loved. But something happened. He walked away, sold his shares for a small amount, and watched the company grow into a billion-dollar enterprise without him. That choice, that regret, simmers quietly in the background of everything he does. When we first meet him, Walter's life has settled into a gray monotony. His wife, Skylar, is pregnant with their second child, and their teenage son, Walter Jr., has cerebral palsy. Skylar loves him, but she worries constantly about money and about Walt's apparent lack of drive. His students barely respect him, and his once sharp intellect feels wasted. Then, in a single devastating blow, everything changes. Walter collapses at the car wash and is diagnosed with inoperable lung cancer. The news is terminal. Suddenly, the clock starts ticking. At first, Walt is passive, resigned. He refuses treatment, seemingly accepting his fate. But a spark is lit when his brother-in-law Hank Schrader, a brash and confident DEA agent, invites him on a ride along during a meth bust. During that operation, Walt sees one of his former students, Jesse Pinkman, fleeing the scene. Something clicks in his mind. Not only does he realize how much money is in the meth trade, but he also understands he has the perfect skill set to make the purest product anyone's ever seen. The idea begins as desperation, a way to leave money behind for his family after he dies, but it quickly grows into something darker, something fueled by pride and long-suppressed resentment. Walter approaches Jesse with a proposition. They should cook meth together. Jesse, a small-time dealer known for cutting corners, thinks Walt has gone insane. But when he sees how serious Walt is and how pure his product can be, he agrees. They buy a broken-down RV and drive into the desert, where Walt creates his first batch of crystal meth using chemistry so precise that the resulting product is nearly 99% pure, with a signature blue tint. It's the birth of Heisenberg, though that name doesn't exist yet. But the criminal world is brutal and chaotic. Their first deal goes wrong almost immediately. Jesse's distributor, Crazy 8, and his cousin Emilio confront them, suspecting them of being informants. Walt, using quick thinking and chemistry, improvises a deadly trap inside the RV, killing Emilio and rendering Crazy 8 unconscious. This is the first time Walter truly crosses a moral line, and when he later has to decide whether to kill Crazy 8, who has regained consciousness, we see him wrestle with the weight of taking a life. He lists reasons to let the man live, reasons to kill him, and finally realizes Crazy 8 intends to stab him with a piece of broken plate. Walter strangles him to death with a bike lock. The moment is quiet but transformative. It's the death of the mild-mannered teacher and the birth of something new and dangerous. Meanwhile, Skylar becomes suspicious of her husband's strange behavior. He disappears for hours, smells of chemicals, and starts lying. Walt claims he's working on the car wash or visiting his mother, but the cracks begin to show. Skylar starts investigating, and at the same time, Jesse is struggling to sell Walt's meth. The product is so pure that dealers don't even believe it's real. Eventually, the blue meth starts gaining attention in Albuquerque's underworld, drawing the notice of Tuco Salamanca, a violent and unpredictable drug distributor with ties to the Mexican cartel. Throughout the season, Walt's cancer looms like a shadow. He finally agrees to chemotherapy after Skylar insists, but his pride and secrecy continue to grow. The cancer is no longer the central fear, losing control, losing dignity, becoming irrelevant again. Those are the things that truly terrify him. The meth business becomes his way to fight back against fate. He tells himself it's for his family, but each episode peels back that lie a little more. Jesse, on the other hand, serves as a foil. He's sloppy, impulsive, but human. When he kills or sees death, he reacts with fear and guilt, emotions Walt increasingly suppresses. Their partnership becomes both a teacher-student dynamic and a tragic mirror. Jesse looks to Walt for guidance, while Walt uses Jesse as both a tool and a scapegoat. In the penultimate episodes of the first season, Walt and Jesse are desperate for cash and decide to approach Tuco directly. They bring a small sample of meth to show him. Tuco mocks them, beats Jesse severely, and seems ready to rob them. Walt returns the next day under a new persona, cool, calm, shaved head, and carrying what looks like meth but is actually fulminated mercury, a volatile explosive compound. He throws a piece to the ground, blowing out Tuco's windows and terrifying everyone in the room. Then, in a moment of cold power, Walt demands payment up front and secures a deal to supply Tuco with pounds of meth each week. Tuco laughs, impressed. Walt leaves with cash in hand and a new identity forming inside him. By the end of Season 1, Walter White is no longer just a man dying of cancer. He's tasted control, danger, and respect, things he's been denied for decades. The final scenes show him returning home, physically battered but emotionally alive, as if the drug world has given him a reason to exist. Skylar, still in the dark, senses that something fundamental has changed in her husband, but she cannot yet name it. The first season of Breaking Bad is short, only 7 episodes, but it lays the entire foundation for Walter White's transformation from a humble teacher into a criminal mastermind. The lore of the series isn't just about meth or money. It's about identity, pride, and the corruption that comes when a man decides that morality is optional if the ends justify the means. Every chemical reaction Walt performs mirrors the transformation happening within him, the breakdown of stability, the rearrangement of molecules into something volatile and dangerous. Season 1 ends not with resolution, but with ignition. Walter White has stepped into a world where he feels powerful for the first time in years. The irony, of course, is that his quest to provide for his family will ultimately destroy the very thing he's trying to protect. But for now, in the haze of the desert and the hum of the RV, Walter White has found his purpose, and the legend of Heisenberg has just begun. If you made it this far, be sure to like and subscribe and comment ideas for more videos like this.